Hello GED students, this is lesson 72, factoring quadratic equations. In lesson 71 we're doing the factoring, but the a here, this number here was a 1, or it was just x squared. Okay, with 72, this a number is not a 1, it's going to be greater than 1. So therefore there's some extra steps in factoring the quadratic. So it starts out the same as 71, where you have to factor or find all the factors for 7. So this one's pretty easy. It's just 1 times 7 is 7, and there's no other factors for it. But you also, in these, if you have a number greater than 1 here, you have to find the factors for this number. So here it's 1 and 2, because 1 times 2 is 2. Now here's the tricky part is now you got to find the combination of these numbers that equal 15. They have to multiply in the middle. Well, here, let me show you over here what I mean. Is you have the factors of 2 and 1, 2, which is 1 and 2. I'll put those are the factors. And here I have the factors of 1 and 7, which is 1 and 7. So over here, I'm going to put 1 and 7. Okay? So you have to multiply them so that they add up, so that their answers will add up to 15. So just like here, if I go 1 times 1, you're multiplying. So I go 1 times 1 is 1. And 2 times 7 is 14. So I multiply them. But then you can see if these add up to the middle number or the B number, then we have the right combination. So here if I go 1 plus 14, well, that'll be 15, which is the B number in the center here. Okay? So this will be the right combination. If I did it this way, well, if I had 7 up here and 1 down here, it would be 7 and 2, which would be 9. It won't add up. Okay, so this is the right combination. So how would you write that as factored out? Well, here's another tricky part. And this is how I learned it. It's not really how they show it in the book. You might look at their explanation, but this is how I learned it. So you see here the factor of 2, 1 and 2, x. So here this is going to get the x here. But does the 1 pair up with the 1? This is where the mistake is usually made. People will usually go, well, it must be x plus 1 and 2x plus 7, which is incorrect. You have to partner up the x with the 1 diagonal for the C number. So it'll end up being the factors for this quadratic would be 1x or x plus the 7, and that'll be 2x plus the 1. It'll be 2x plus the 1. Okay? And those are the factors for this quadratic equation. Whoops. Make sure it's on the screen. And I could check my answer. I can do like we did in lesson 69. If I go 2 or x times 2x, that'll be 2x squared. And then x times 1x, that'll be just 1x or x. And then if I go 7 times 2x, that'll be 14x. And if I go 7 times 1, that'll be 7. So here, if I put these together, I got 2x squared plus 15x's and plus 7. So there, I'm back to where I started. Okay, so we did this correct. This would be the factors of this quadratic equation. Okay, let's try this one's a little bit more difficult, number 2. Now in the book, instead of x, they have z. I don't like using z because it looks too much like a 2. So when I work on my I'm used to seeing them like this, a quadratic. So if they use another letter, I just put in an X to keep it, I don't know, consistent. So here, the same thing. We want to look at the factors. We got first 7 and the factors of 27. So the factors for 7 is just 1 times 7 is 7. There's no others. But here there's several. There's 1 times 27. And there's 2, doesn't work. 3, yeah, 3. And 3 times 9 is 27. 4, no. 5, no. 6, 7. Yeah, so these are the factors of 27. 1 and 27 and 3 times 9. 1 times 27 is 27. 3 times 9 is 27. So now we got to do like we did up here. We got to find a combination of which ones will add up to 30. Okay, if we multiply them, we got to find a pair that if we multiply them, then add up their product or their answer, it adds up to 30. So this takes a little work. I'm going to go through all the combinations I got set up to where the last one will work. So just to show you the process. So here I got the factors of 1 and 7 is 1 and 7, so that's the only ones I can use. But if I do 1 and 27 from this side, this is the A and this is the C. So if I go 1 times 1 is 1, and I go, and this is a line just to separate it. 7 times 27 is a huge number, which isn't going to be close. That's going to be 7 times 7 is 4. Yeah, that's too big. So obviously I can see that's not going to be near 30. So I know this combination's out. So I'm going to go, if I reversed it, well, let's see if I do that. If I go 1 and 7, if I put the 27 up here and the 1 down here. Ooh, that looks close. If I go 1 times 27 is 27. 7 times 1 is 7. And if I add these together, 27, 7, that's 34. Ooh, close. I need 30. So that combination doesn't work. So I know the 1 and 27, they're not going to work. So I'm crossing them out. So that leaves me 1 and 7 still. I know this one has to work with now this one somehow. So I'm going to go 1 and 7. And let's just leave it that way, 3 and 9. So 1 times 3 is 3. 7 times 9 is 63. Well, that's 66. That's way too big. I want 30. So I know that's not going to work. So how about 1 and 7, 9, and 3. Let's try that combination. So I know that doesn't work. So I got 1 times 9 is 9. And 7 times 3 is 21. So 9 plus 21. Hey, that's 30. And that's what I'm looking for, the 30. Okay, so this is the combination here. Okay, it's the 1 and 9 and 7 and 3 and 7 and 3. So now how do I get it into this form? Whoop, right up here, this one. Well, the 1 and 7 is with the x squared. So you know this is going to be 1x and the 7 is going to be 7x. But you don't pair it with the 1 across. You want the 1x to go to this one down here, and 7x goes with the 9 up here. Okay, if you take college algebra, they call these matrices, or it's the beginning of a matrix. So here, the answer, the factor will be, make sure I'm on the form, 1x, or x, plus 3, a positive 3, and then 7x, and a positive 9. Okay? Can you have it this way? Can you have the 7x first and the x plus 3 on the other side, sure, they're going to be the same. Okay, but here you want to make sure you pair it with the one that's diagonal to it. And then you can check your answer. I go x times 7x, that would be 7x squared. And if I go x, that would be first one, then x, am I on the paper? X times 9, that would be positive 9x. And if I go 3 times 7x, that would be positive 21x. And then 3 times 9, there's my 27. And then you add these two together, just like here. You see in the matrix? So 7x squared plus, that'll be 30 x's and 27. So yep, I did it correct. I ended up with the same answer. Okay, so hopefully that helps. I might do one more video and one more from the book down below here. Hopefully the percent chance of getting one like this is low, but just showing you how to do it if it does come up. Alright, hope this helps. Let me look at the others. I might do one more.